friends, we are going to start in our new chapter book, which is a calendar mysteries. So we still have our Bradley, Brian, Nate, and Lucy, our friends in these books. This book is called October Ogre. So what do y'all think it might be about?
Ogre.
An ogre, perhaps?
Like Shrek.
Like Shrek? Let's see. We are just going to read chapter 1 today. Okay, and then maybe tomorrow we'll read 2 and 3. Just kind of depends on where we're at. Okay?
Like all of it?
Chapter 1. The first ogre. How do I look? Bradley asked. He was wearing a cardboard box. His head stuck out through a hole in the top, and his feet came out the bottom. There were holes in the sides for his arms. Bradley had pasted pictures of President George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, and Thomas Jefferson on the 4 sides. You look like a box of cereal, Nate said. What are you supposed to be? Asked Lucy. Bradley grinned. I'm Mount Rushmore, he said. It was Halloween and the kids were getting dressed at Nate's house. They were going to the hotel. For Halloween, the building had been changed into a haunted house. All the kids they knew were planning to be there. Bradley's twin brother, Brian, was dressed as an astronaut. A clear plastic salad bowl covered his red hair. He pretended to breathe through a vacuum cleaner hose taped to the bowl, and his shirt and pants were covered with tin foil. Lucy was dressed as Sacagawea. She wore a fake leather dress and moccasins and had her hair in a braid. Nate had wound strips of rags around his face and body. Guess what I am, he said. Raggedy Andy, Brian joked. No, I'm a mummy, Nate said. The 4 kids were best friends. Bradley and Brian's older brother, Josh, was pals with Dink Duncan, Lucy's cousin. Nate's older sister, Ruth Rose, hung out with Josh and Dink. The kids left Nate's house and walked to Main Street. The sun was down, but it was not quite dark yet. They waited at the traffic light in front of Howard's barber shop. Dink told me there's an ogre cave inside the hotel, Lucy said. The ogre is guarding a basket of candy. If we steal candy without getting caught, we get a prize. Cool, Brian said. We get candy and a prize? When the sign said walk, they crossed Main Street and headed to the hotel. They stood behind some bushes and looked at the hotel. It does look haunted, Lucy said. Bats, witches' faces, and skeletons peered out the windows. Thick cobwebs hung from the front door. Spooky music came through hidden speakers. A tall green ogre stood at the door. The monster had a lumpy green face and a fat belly. He held a club in his chubby fingers. What an awesome ogre, Brian said. Let's go say hi. Maybe not, Nate said. I don't really want to hang out with ogres. A bunch of kids in costumes were gathering at the hotel entrance. Bradley saw a Miss Piggy, a Batman, and some ghosts wearing bed sheets. Batman. The ogre opened the door and let a few of the kids inside. One of them was wearing a red cowboy hat. Hey, that's Luke Sanders from our class, Nate said, pointing. Nate waved, but Luke had disappeared into the haunted house. Come on, Brian said. Let's go in. Josh told us some of the high school kids helped decorate. He said it's real scary. Just then, the hotel door creaked open and more kids went inside. The ogre stayed outside. He waved at Bradley, Brian, Nate, and Lucy. He's telling us to come over, Bradley said. I'm not sure, Nate said. I mean, I don't mind being scared, but that ogre guy is too creepy. Maybe I'll just hang out here. Lucy took Nate's hand. Come on, Nate. It'll be fun, she said, and friends stick together. If you don't go in, we won't go in either. But I want to go in, Brian said. I want to steal the candy and get a prize. He looked at his brother. What do you say, Bradley? I love Halloween too, Bradley said, but I agree with Lucy. If Nate doesn't want to go in, we don't go in. Maybe later, Nate said. I just need to think about it. The kids sat near the bushes and kept their eyes on the haunted hotel. The ogre kept his eyes on them.
He's creepy.
Very. All right, so we're going to finish up we finished up with chapter 1. Tomorrow we are going to do chapter 2 for sure. We might do chapter 2 and 3. We'll just kind of have to see what our timing is, okay?
Okay.